Personally, I make sure that the very first thing which I mentioned you when you asked me about, I make sure that me and my client are not on the same page. If I feel that I'm at the same situation right now, or I'm not in the right state to handle that particular client, I first thing I do is I refer it to someone else, because I don't want, because of my trauma, that client should suffer in any way. Being a human being, psychologist is later on, but first, being a human being, you get connected. You can't all time be a professional. You do get connected, but then I make sure that few things I keep it on page, like okay, now I have done this, I'm doing this, I'm doing my job best at best, and if it will take some time, where time heals, we say time heals everything, so it will take some time for the client also to come up with this thing, and I am giving him or her all the entire support which is required. And apart from that,
by being very aware of it in the first place, that this is something which is a part and parcel of it. Therapist is any other person, like any other person, and just like a client is a part of the society and their issues are a part and parcel of the society that they live in, a counselor, therapist or mental professional also is a part of the same society. They come from the same situation, they come from the same background, they are faced with the same norms, the same way of doing things. So yeah, it's like it's very probable that they will also face the same kind of issues.
Being a psychologist, it's very important to have your personal space. Like, not a psychologist, every human being should have a personal space, but specifically working in the mental health sector, it's very important that you engage yourself in something which you like listening music, doing some dance, or going for outing, something like that which makes you happy. So you can that's a stress buster. It's basically work as a stress buster.
The only difference between a counselor and a client is that counselor knows how to deal with it, but not necessary that they will always be able to figure it out. Nobody has been able to become completely self-aware. So yeah, once I'm aware, I can do something about it. Things that I already do include having pre-planned time offs, breaks, going traveling, meeting different people, indulging in hobbies which are not related to my work, learning something in my time out which is not directly related to my work. It gives me a perspective from a different angle. Also, journaling helps a lot, because so a lot of people have this issue that journaling means just writing down the mundane details, but journaling is a one step ahead, in which you also write what you felt when doing those activities. It's not just listing down the activities, but what was going on in your mind before doing those activities. So that's a very important step, because it makes you aware of what's going on in your mind and gives you a chance to analyze whether it's healthy, it's functional, or it's not. So journaling helps a lot. Activities like, say again, yoga and meditation, mindfulness meditation is something that really helps. But yeah, it all starts with being aware of it and being open to address it.